In today's video, I want to talk to you about one specific stock that ran up about 300% this morning. I want to explain exactly why it jumped, my research on it, how we found it in the pre-market, and what to expect moving forward. Because after this discovery hype period, there is another catalyst right over the horizon. And in return for this very violent breakdown, the only thing I ask of you is that you hit that ravishing like button and also don't forget to subscribe. And I do want to go ahead and be clear, we do not have a position in this, nor were we paid by any promoting agency to talk about it, so you know that we are being impartial here. Okay, so for context, we briefed on ICCM in the pre-market because they announced that new studies show their treatment ProSense is safe and effective at treating kidney tumors. When the news dropped in the after hours, it caused the stock to 10x, and then it took a massive dump to $2 and was climbing in the low volume early pre-market. And by the time I was writing our briefing, I saw the catalyst and thought, hey, you'd have a lot more room to rebound rally when volume eventually returns at open. And volume returned, and you did get a nice rebound rally to 472. Now, of course, if you'd like access to our daily morning briefings, we do offer those to all ZipTrader U members, and the link to the program is down below. Coupon code Santa45 will get you a big discount before Christmas. But that aside, ICCM is IceCure Medical. They are a developer of a minimally invasive cryoablation technology called the ProSense system that destroys tumors by freezing. This is actually pretty fascinating stuff. So sadly, there's more and more people than ever getting cancer, and the goal is to catch the cancer as early as possible. If you catch it really, really early, maybe you can get away with just a surgery. You remove it and then you're done. However, surgery can be very, very rough on the body, and a lot of people will delay the surgery, which causes more problems. But IceCure's ProSense apparently is an attempt to try to skip that process and get it out of the way in most cases within just like 20 to 30 minutes. The ProSense device is this small needle-like probe that goes in and actually freezes the tumor tissue using liquid nitrogen, causing the diseased cells to die off, and it apparently leaves no scar and is supposed to be a lot easier on the body than alternatives, and recovery is a lot faster because you're not going and ripping everything apart. They also say it's painless, but I'm not really sure how a probe somewhat deep into the body is going to be painless. If someone's like, Charlie, you got a probe coming today, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is probably not going to be a very good day. But I could see how this would be better than some massive surgery where there's all this prep and then you have to be out for a week and so on and so forth so that you can recover. This seems like a possibly good alternative in that situation, and also in situations where your body can't even take surgery, right? Now, there's a lot of applications for this: kidney, bone, liver, and one of the biggest is breast cancer. Back in early November, which by the way, we briefed on ICCM back in early November as well, although we were like a day late. But anyways, back in early November, they announced that their ProSense system is getting into the Medicare payment group for level 1 breast lymphatic surgery and related procedures. This will go into effect on January 1st, 2023. They just need one more authorization, which we'll talk about later. But one more authorization, and this is going to be a massive, massive market entrant. And backed by its clinical trials, IceCure's application is actually the first and only Medicare coverage approval of cryoablation procedure for breast cancer. Again, cryoablation being this tumor freezing technology. And this is a big deal because if there's no competition, they can dominate the market. And based on what I'm seeing, there's no one really around that is anywhere close to what they are doing and is anywhere close to making it to market. If this company gets full authorization and approval across different applications for different types of cancer, well, it seems to me they're going to be a very safe, convenient, and effective alternative to a lot of the status quo treatments. Now, the newest news that just came out is specifically about their efficacy in treating kidney cancer. Specific types of lesions that form in the kidneys. How do you get rid of those? Well, they have a solution. The company reported their studies found that ProSense is safe and effective in treating kidney tumors with an 89.5% recurrence-free rate. That's pretty damn solid. So this does two things. Number one, it obviously proves some degree of efficacy for this specific application with kidney tumors, which is a big deal because the demand for that is rising. According to the American Journal of Röntgenology. According to the American Journal of Röntgenology, small renal masses, which may be malignant or benign tumors in the kidney, have been rising in incidence over the past 2 decades. According to the American Cancer Society, in 2022, in the U.S., an estimated 79,000 new cases of kidney cancer will be diagnosed, with about 14,000 dying from the disease. Globally, there were more than 430,000 new cases of kidney cancer in 2020 and about 180,000 deaths. So number one, you have applicability to service this massive demand that is is unfortunately massively rising. But number two, this also gives a lot of confidence for the overall device and its applicability in other different segments. If this is safe and effective for kidney tumors, then it's going to be more likely that it's safe and effective for other types of tumors as well, or at least that's going to be the perception, and a reasonable perception, of different traders who are trading this. The wider the applicability, the more and more patients that this company can reach and help, and the more and more money they can make over the long term. Okay, so the chart. So right now you are in the discovery process where people are discovering and analyzing this news. The euphoria hit the stock super fast and the available float couldn't absorb it, so it skyrocketed. Low liquidity penny stock 101. Now, of course, if you're looking at the later parts of the session, there's people who are now taking profits, and there's new waves of people probably debating whether or not to buy, whether or not it's too late, whether or not a dip recovery is going to happen. My guess, though, is you probably have a couple more residual rallies left. Maybe another breakout. I would say maybe a 50% chance of another breakout, maybe even less of a chance because volume is going to be slowing down as we head into the end of the week because of Christmas and all that kind of stuff. But the way that I see it is that once this discovery process momentum and volatility ends and the stock dives, that's when the countdown comes to the next catalysts. That's when the countdown comes to the next potential opportunity. So Charlie, what is the next potential catalyst? Well, you see, the breast cancer application had a win with Medicare, but they still need FDA marketing authorization. The CEO said, quote, "This Medicare payment group assignment is a significant milestone that will support our commercialization of ProSense for early stage breast cancer if we receive FDA marketing authorization. We believe private insurers will be similarly open to covering the procedure based on the CMS's position, the robust data on favorable patient outcomes, and the corresponding improved healthcare economics. It is our mission to make the procedure widely available and affordable." So this, folks, is the next major ICCM catalyst: winning FDA marketing authorization. This will allow their business to really get to the next level in the United States. And after that happens, a lot of other things are likely going to work out for them as well. But when is this going to happen? Well, back on October 19th, IceCure filed their de novo classification request with the FDA for this marketing authorization. This is the request you file to get to that next stage, right? The last stage where you have the authorization. And according to the FDA, the approval of this takes about 150 review days, which are set in calendar days. 150 days from October 19th is March 18th, 2023. So we have about 2.5 months until the next catalyst drop. Charlie, that's far away. Yes, I mean, time goes pretty fast, so it's not really that far away. But yes, it is kind of far away. However, the speculation and rolling opportunities can start way before that. We've seen that happen again and again with so many different stocks. I think the catalyst today was a much more lukewarm catalyst compared to when they actually start having the approval to really start marketing, especially when it's also going to activate the Medicare deal, which really doesn't mean much unless they have the authorization. Now, moving on though, remember the dynamic with these companies that makes them so fun in the first place, and especially in this market, is that because of the bad macro environment, institutions and individuals are just indiscriminately dumping them. Oh, does it lose money? Sell it, sell it, sell it. The problem, though, is that, of course, every profitable company that you see today was unprofitable at some point. And when it comes to biotech companies specifically, the only real way to value them is based on the biotech that they own, the specific patents, technology, so on and so forth. If the tech works and there's a huge applicable market, well, if the stock just keeps going down and down and down and it's down like 99%, well, that's a massive inefficiency. If the market cap of the company is less than what the technology is going to be worth, that might be a massive, massive inefficiency. Now, I say might because it depends on how the company's run and so on and so forth, but at the very least, there's value to what the company owns, the tech that it owns and has created. And the value over the long run is either going to create a massively profitable company if it's run correctly, or is going to be acquired by a bigger company that is going to make it very, very profitable and pay a premium to acquire it. And this is something that investors and speculators and overall traders know when they're looking at different news pieces like this. Now, I'm not making an argument to buy and hold it. I'm just saying that if you're looking at this from a company standpoint, it's a massively, massively big inefficiency when these companies just get indiscriminately dumped on as if they're completely worthless. Where in reality, if you look at this, there's obviously progress. With ICCM, the tech they have has a lot of inherent value, and every single time it has a positive press release, it's going to be proving that and increasing the perception that, hey, maybe this shouldn't be down 99%, and then you're going to get these massive, massive liquidity crunches like we saw today. And the next step where I see this happening again is that FDA marketing authorization. But always remember, folks, these things can turn against you very, very fast. One of our best briefing plays from last week was HARP, and don't harp on this one too much, but here's a very good learning lesson. It was also gaining attention on updated positive data from one of its drugs. We briefed on it at about 142 a share, about 30 minutes prior to market open, and it ran to 335 a share, which was a percentage run of about 135% briefing price to highs. But then what happened? Well, the catalyst discovery process died off and the entire move was eaten. Nowadays, it's back to where it started and actually went a bit lower. So again, for people that say, oh, catalyst runs, you have to buy and hold them to the moon. Well, again, a lot of times they just die, and they die off massively. These discovery hype runs are not sustainable, and they never last forever. Some last more than others, but most of the time in this market, they just die off, and it's miserable. Now, HARP may also have some catalysts down the road in the future, just like ICCM does, but you want to be aware of this phenomenon before you even try playing these, right? They can run massively, but they're also going to dump massively after their take profit cycle has started. Small caps are fun because they are very reactive to news. There's always some different opportunity that you can find in any given week. And quite frankly, it's a lot of fun to figure out when the different catalysts are coming and what you can expect in terms of a move. But they're also incredibly risky, so not for the faint of heart. Ask your doctor before you try it. Can cause anxiety, depression, insomnia, and maybe hypertension. Certainly high blood pressure. Anyways, folks, that caps off today's video. Make sure to hit that ravishing like button and subscribe. If you want to get up to 20 free stocks with Moomoo, I will put a link to them down below. Excellent platform and overall trading broker. And of course, if you'd like to join us in ZipTrader U for our step-by-step lessons on potential strategies, our daily morning briefings, and all other trading resources within our program, I will put a link to that down below. Santa 45 will get you 45% off at checkout, and that expires on Christmas. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next video.